Hey guys, Jeff here again. As promised, doing a follow-up video, kind of piggybacking off of my last video of how I got sober. And as promised, I wanted to run through the 12 steps, one step at a time, because in a nutshell, that is how I stay sober. This was true 28 years ago. It's true today. I do the same things I did when I got sober to stay sober. And it all boils down to practicing the 12 steps and practicing the things that I was taught early in AA, these daily disciplines, including implementing the steps in my daily life to become a useful member of society, because that's really what it's all about. It's not just about getting sober. Now, sure, early on when we're getting clean, it's about, not using drugs and trying to get our heads clear, trying to get our lives back together, sure. But ultimately, practicing the 12 steps in our lives, it's all about helping us become useful members of society and to be functioning adults, because at the end of the day, we're really I guess the word I'm looking for is juvenile, right? We're juvenile in our thought process. No matter when we come into the program, we just don't adult very well. But at any rate, I did want to go through on things that I did way back then when I got sober, the things I do on a daily basis to stay sober. Again, my choice of reading and daily foundation type of practices, if you will, they have evolved over the years, but my core foundation principles that I implement in my life every single day, they still hold true today. I add and modify and have done so over the years, but I stick with the basics that got me sober, that kept me sober, and things that I still do today. And like I mentioned in my last video of how I got sober, we have to, wake up every morning, we pray, which, again, I talked about that. Prayer is an individual thing. Not everyone is religious, so there's some flexibility in that regard. For me, prayer was something I did from day one. Remember, I have absolutely no experience on how to get sober without the use of AA and the 12 steps and the fellowship. Right? That's the only way I know how to get sober and stay sober and be a productive member of society. So if people ask me, well, what if we don't want to do that? I don't know, because I tried to not work the 12 steps when I got into AA, when I wanted to get clean. And when I didn't work the program, I did not stay sober. So I only know how to get sober and stay sober and be a productive member of society by working the 12 steps. And that's, again, waking up, I would pray. Meditation has always been an up and down journey for me, and it has, there's been, I get peaks and valleys as far as meditation goes, but I would wake up, I would pray, and do my readings, my morning readings every day. And this is my 24-hour book. It's a daily meditation book, which, this thing is old. This is as old as I am sober. This is like one of my original ones. So the cover's gone, but you can see it's worn. I still use it. It's called the 24-hour book. And every morning, let's see if I could open it up. Let's see if you could see that. You can see there's oh, there we go. Daily messages. So, I would kind of read the daily message, sit for a few minutes, contemplate on it, which technically is a form of meditation, and just kind of sit still with my thoughts and kind of absorb what I just read. So I would do that every morning, and without fail, especially for years. I don't read a full step every day because I add other readings in my morning routine, but the 12 steps, I was told, if I want to get sober and stay sober, I have to read a step a day. And remember, when I didn't listen to them, I kept relapsing and almost died several times. So I just started listening to them because I really wanted to get sober. So I read a step a day, I don't know, maybe 15 years. Maybe the last 10 years or so, I would start varying up my routine. I would still read the step book often, but probably for the first, 13, 14, 15 years, I read a step religiously. It was just part of my routine. Like if we wake up and brush our teeth, it's just something we do. It's just something I did, right? So I would read the 24-hour book, I would read my step a day, and depending on where I was in my recovery, the big book, the AA Bible, right? This is the book that I would read. I would early on, it was every day. As time went on, I would read it as just part of my routine, if you will, maybe a couple times a week or something like that, or if I felt a little off, or if I needed to tap into some knowledge, I would certainly open up the big book and read it. Also, when you work the steps, there's some guidance in the big book on how to work steps. So that's kind of what these were my core foundation readings for years and years and years and years. I would wake up, I would pray, try to meditate. I'm better now at quieting my mind, but I would wake up, pray, meditate, definitely get my reading in, and I would do this, all before I finished my first cup of coffee. It was my daily discipline, because I was told that if I want to not just get sober, but stay sober, I have to be willing to do the things that will help me stay sober. I have to be just as willing to get sober and stay sober as I was to get and use drugs, right? That's really what it boils down to. So those were the things that I would wake up to, and those are my daily disciplines. That's how I stayed sober, right? Obviously, working the 12 steps, that's the meat and potatoes. But these daily disciplines, right, I'm telling you, saved my life, and I'm not even kidding, right? So you wake up, pray, meditate, read, kind of have some quiet time, get on my day, contact my sponsor at some point throughout the day, even if things are going well, just to say hello and stay connected. Obviously, if I'm having a rough spot, I would certainly reach out to my sponsor. For anyone watching this, an AA sponsor is someone who has some time under their belt. They've been sober for a while. They worked all the 12 steps. They have experience in all the 12 steps. They help you. They help and guide you through the 12 steps. They're there for you as as a sounding board, if you will, just so you have someone to talk to and bounce stuff off of, or if you're in a jam and you just need to talk to someone and get stuff out. That's what the sponsor is for. So those are my daily disciplines. That's how I stayed sober. That's how I stay sober. Now, I've had a few sponsors over the years. I've had many spiritual advisors, which technically they're other AA people that I've had over the years that weren't quote unquote my sponsors, but I would reach out to them often and solicit their guidance, especially in matters that they may have some expertise in, whether it be some childhood trauma that I went through. I worked with another fellow AA member who helped me through specific things as it related to my childhood. So these are my daily disciplines. And obviously we're going to talk about next video. We're going to talk about step 1. But I did want to share these core foundation endeavors, right, that I did on a daily basis. Again, I still do them on a daily basis. They have evolved a little bit, but my core foundation is still wake up, pray, meditate, read. That's it, right? Before I'm even relatively coherent, I have to do those things, right? Because if you think about it, I don't know if anyone's into PMA, right? This is my positive living channel, but I'm very much into getting positive stuff into my head before my head gets me into negative stuff, right? So it's like brainwashing almost. People go to stuff, yeah, it is brainwashing because our brains need a good washing, right? That's what I was told, right? And again, I kept relapsing when I first got to AA over the course of a few months, and it almost killed me. So it was pretty simple. It was either I do this stuff or I die. That's it. And people say, you can go to jail, you can wind up in jail or institutions or death. That's not where my addiction took me. I might have wound up in jail, but my trajectory was death. That's where I was headed. So it was do this or die. That was my thought process when I finally and completely surrendered to my disease, and I surrendered to AA and the people that I knew could help me get sober and stay sober. So that's that. I'll pop next video up soon. I'm gonna go through the step book as promised. I'm gonna go step 1 through 12. I'll read the step, and then I'll just kind of throw a blurb out there of my view on the particular step that we're going to be discussing. But I did want to get this video out of the way because this is important stuff. Because if you don't have that foundation, just like building a house on sand, at some point it's going to shift, it's going to crumble, right? So doing these daily disciplines, that is a solid foundation for us to build our sobriety on. So thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you know anyone who might benefit from this video, please feel free to share it. Subscribe to my channel, and remember, this video or other videos you might see on sobriety is not a substitute for actually going to meetings. Again, another discipline. So these videos are no substitute for going to meetings, and nowadays there's virtual meetings. There's no reason for people not to get to a meeting, right? Got to do your daily disciplines, go to a meeting every day, call your sponsor every day. Again, this is not a substitute for that stuff. This could be a supplement or a complement to the things you're already doing, but this is no substitute for getting to meetings, working the steps, working with your sponsor and other spiritual advisors and other AA people. So thanks for sharing. I'll see you guys soon.